Biggest mistakes in an auction room, they fall into sort of three categories really. Category number one, concept of bidding on something which you don't fully understand what you're buying. Typically things like short leasehold flats is an absolute grade A prime example of people who think they're winning something and then only finding out during the conveyancing process that it's not quite what they thought. They didn't really notice or understand what the difference between, say, a 125-year lease flat or a 33-year lease flat actually is. Not grasping the exact entirety of what it is you're bidding on. And so for me, if there's any confusion whatsoever, if you're a bidder, you've never done this before, this is your first time, it looks a little bit too good to be true, ask the question, why is this so cheap? What is going on here? That's mistake number one. Cluelessness. People come to an auction and despite the endless reminders about the things a bidder needs to bring with them on auction day, physical process of what happens after you've won, the amount of times a winning bidder is escorted to the contracts desk to be asked for their ID and their deposit, and the response is, I didn't realise I had to pay anything. I didn't realise I needed some ID. You just assume you could wander into an auction, buy £1 million worth of property and not put any money down, not have to show any ID, just leave the room and we'll talk to you another time. There are serious ramifications for doing that. For me, it's just waving at people. It happens all the time. We have a very busy room, hundreds of people. Some people are sat there for ages and then they are waiting for a friend to come in. And the first thing they do, it's a human instinct, is to jump up and start trying to wave to say, look, I've got you a seat, come here, I'm here. Standing up and waving and making a big show of yourself in the middle of an auction is an incredibly stupid thing to do. It's very likely that the auctioneer will want to take you as a bidder and take your waving as a possible purchase of a property. Simple things like don't wave at people, don't scream and shout, don't talk loudly when you're trying to be in a nice, quiet bidding environment.